Hi YouTube, Marko with Marko Custom Build Models coming to you today with this 1929 T-Rod Lindberg 24th scale, supposed to be officially licensed by Ford. This is a brand new one in the box, still sealed. Here's a picture of the actual model. Anyway, what's funny, 1929 was a Model A, and yet they call it a T-Rod. This is not a Model A body, and I'm going to show you it's not even a Model T body once we get in the box. Well, let's open it up and see what we got. Oh, there's some features on the back. How does this one open? Yeah, I think this one you have to open the whole thing. I remember seeing this in the hobby shop, buying it, thinking it'd have some parts in it, some custom parts. It shows hubcaps and everything. And as it turns out, it wasn't the case. So, this is what you get in the box. Okay, so first up, we have the chrome. It has the dashboard, a double window with a wiper built in the top here. It has your two exhaust pipes. Okay, that's the one little chrome tree. The other one has your Hemi power dome valve covers. These are the old 50 style Hemi, not the 426. And then there's some parts here. I think these are tail lights and a couple of, oh, these are for the intakes. Put some for your injection there. So if you look here, there's 8 stubs, but there's no horns on the top, just the stubs. So there you go, you got a couple of pedals. So look like old brass T lighting. Here's the clear parts: 2 windshields and 2 headlights. Okay, so you got an upper and lower. Open up this bag here. We have a body here, which is basically a T body. But what makes it not a T is don't know of any Model T that has just a bump here. It kind of has a 26-27 cowl, but without the vent up here. The Model A had a fuel tank in the top here. Here's the radiator, and then some front suspension and a shifter. So that's everything on that tree there. There's a little bit of interior panel molding there on the inside, and I think that's just to glue the seat on. I don't think that's detail. Here, talking about the seat, you got a seat here. I do like the finish on the seat. It almost looks like it's got some ripples in it. You can see it on the camera there. And it has a place for a roll bar in the back here. You do get 4 steely wheels, which I like. It has some wheel backs here. This is at where the roll bar would go. Here's the grill shell, which is paintable. We have the Hemi heads here, and then 1 tire, both halves, or 1/2 of 2 tires. We also have the chassis here. Okay, so there's the one side of that tree, and then there's the other. Here we have the rest of the tires. So we have other halves, and then one for the front here. These are the rears, and they are plastic, so you don't get vinyl tires in here, but if you work on these, they turn out pretty good. Okay, here we have a tree with most of the parts here. Here you have the front suspension. This, I think, goes under the floor. This is an oil pan. These are the axles for the wheels. These are some wheel backs. This is a steering wheel. This is the 2 halves of the fuel tank for the rear. We got the engine halves for that Hemi. If you notice, I want to show you the Hemi ends right here. There's no transmission in this model kit. The firewall here, some more suspension detail, front suspension. You got fan detail, the rear differential detail here. This is the sort of the floor pan they give you with the kit to put your steering column and pedals in. This is the front of that engine for the Hemi there. So there's one side of that tree, and then there's the other. Got a couple little pieces just probably for the steering column and things like that. And okay, here is the headlight bar with the 2 headlights on it. It's actually a pretty nice piece. I like the shape of those headlights. And then you have the water slide decal sheet, and it's just a number 71, kind of like what you see on the door here, but it's a solid number, not faded or anything. And last, not least for the kit, are the instructions. So this should probably be just a single page. Yep, here we go. So there's sort of the cab assembly, engine assembly. Oh, on the other side, where to put everything here, grill, the wheels, you can do white walls, you know, whatever. With the plastic tires, you can paint them however you like. And the back end there. There you have it, unboxing of the 29 T-Rod. But let me show you what I've done with it. Alright, so here's what I did with the model. This is the same kit that I had started on years ago. I had just found it again and finished it up, so I wanted to share it with you. As you can see, I tried to use everything out of the kit, except I added a couple pieces. One of them being I added a truck box, and I didn't add the tailgate. I had to make that. Also, I had added some hubcaps. Those are from the 60 Ford kit. I put in a different steering wheel because the other one was much bigger, and if you install it in the car, it took up a lot of the interior, almost like there wouldn't be enough room for a person to sit. Also, the seat has a big section here that goes between the seat and the body. I actually shaved that off because to be able to move the seat back. Otherwise, the seat sits really forward in the cabin. Give you an idea what that looks like. If you put the seat in the cabin here, you can see that if you put that and then you put this big steering wheel in here, there's not a lot. I mean, the person couldn't even sit in that car, so that didn't really make a lot of sense. So I moved that back. And then I chopped the tall windshield down. This has a dashboard and a windshield molded in one. I chopped it down so it's not so tall, give it more of a hot rod look. I did use the headers that come in the kit, but what I did was I reversed them. I used the right one on the left one on the right, so they swoop down and out instead of kind of up and then down. They sit a little higher up. And then I also drilled the ends so that they look hollow. I built the engine and just painted it red, hot rod color, same with the wheels. These are those 60 Ford hubcaps on the wheels that come in the kit. These are the plastic tires. I had built the tires, I had chucked them in a lathe and cut grooves into them to give it some tread detail in the front, and the back I just left it flat like if they were slicks. And I gave them a sand, and when you paint them they actually turned out pretty good. I did use little gems inside the headlights, and I used little rhinestones for the markers as well as the tail lights. I just put a decal that wasn't out of this kit. It was just grab the plate, put it on, California vintage plate on the back. One of the interesting things about this model, it does not come with a transmission, so I didn't go grab a transmission from another model. I had actually just glued some tubes one inside the other to mimic a transmission. I put in a drive shaft, which the model does not come with. And then this here is a piece of balsa wood I used for the floor. So when you look on the inside, it has floorboards. I left an open tunnel for the transmission. I bent a stick pin for the shifter. If you can see it, it's actually metal. I did use the pedals out of the kit under the floor there. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Maybe if I get this light down here. If you can see, I did use the pedals down there. like I said, I used the seat out of the kit for sure. And that's everything I've done to this kit. And I think it turned out really good. Oh, also in the grill, I used this as a piece of speaker mesh. There's nothing in there. The radiator just has this radiator detail there, which you could detail up. Looks pretty good. But I put this piece of metal in there, painted it red. Although in real life you wouldn't want to use that. You'd probably overheat your hot rod because you wouldn't get enough airflow. But anyway, for a model, I thought it looked pretty good. And then I cut all of those runners off the engine and just put on some horns from another kit so that there's some detail there. So I did that. I also added these two metal pins or rods to connect the radiator shell to the firewall. Just give it some look there. I basically assembled most of it, painted it black, then dropped the engine in, floorboards and seat, tan seat. So there you go. That's my take on the 29 T-Rod from Lindberg Models. I was a little disappointed when I bought this kit. When I bought it, it was actually, it was new. It was a lot of money on the shelf. But you can always turn it into something fun, and that's what I did. I challenged myself to turn this into something. If I wanted to build a hot rod, what would I want it to look like in real life? And that's what I did with this. So I quite like it. It actually, buying it, wasn't that impressed, but turning it into probably one of my favorite models. At least the way I have it built. I just love looking at it. So anyway, if you like these videos, please subscribe, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Please share and comment, as I love reading the comments. Tell me if you've built one of these or bought one of these and what your thoughts were. And as always, have yourself a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.